So welcome to another Dub Monkeys video. This time we're still in the Clio. The Caddy is actually getting some work done to it at the moment at my brother's garage. Getting quite a bit of stuff done to it. Still needs a new gearbox, unfortunately. Long story, but the conversion car I got, the donor car for the conversion wasn't the best. The DSG wasn't the greatest. Artec mapped it with safety in mind, taking the torque only up to 395 foot-pound and capped the horsepower at 360, simply because the gearbox wasn't that great. Hopefully you can hear me a lot better now. I've got a nice little external mic that I've picked up for these videos. So we're back in the Clio. Clio's a great little car. It's my little daily at the moment while the Caddy's still getting finished off. I got a replacement gearbox for the Caddy. The clutch plaques blew in mine pretty much less than 24 hours after mapping it. So I had a replacement one brought down. Unfortunately, when we fitted that, or when Artec fitted that, we discovered a big clunk as it went down the gear. It's primarily like down into first when you're pulling up in traffic, and when you're going from park to drive and drive to park. So it needs a new gearbox, another replacement gearbox. I've got one on the way, just got to arrange to go and get it. At the moment it's at my brother's restoration shop. Big shout out to Greens in Birmingham, and it's getting the gas adjustable rear shocks put on. The S3 brakes are finally going on the back end of it. It needs a new master cylinder, so that's something that's happening. And I've got an alloy forge radiator to go in it, so again that's going, and along with the Vibrotechnics engine and gearbox mounts. So it should be a nice little beast when it comes back. Gearbox still works, it's just a bit clunky when you're, as I say, going from park to drive and down into first at a stop. Not much I can do about that until I get the replacement. As soon as I get hold of that, it's back to Artec, drop it off to them, and they will fit the box for me. So in the meantime, we are in the little Clio. She is nice and warmed up. Yeah, just go for a little drive. It sounds beautiful, this thing. Not as good as the Caddy, but it does sound good. See what I mean there? This car is not pretty to look at all. It's pretty much got a dent in every panel. Apparently it's been on its roof before. I don't know, but it was built for the ring, and legend says did a 9-minute lap, which is quite respectable. I think this would have it would keep up with the standard Mark 5 GTI, Mark 6 GTI, possibly even have them on the bends, but we'll have to wait to test it out when the tracks are open. It won't keep up with my Caddy. The Caddy's just, yeah. I'm going in on Monday actually to get a bit of work done on my big Sprinter van that I use for work. This is my brother's place, so I'll do a little walk around video then. We can check it out. You'll see the actual car, van. It's not mint again on the outside. There's a bit of a scrape up one of the sides. Still got the old front end on it. I've just been concentrating purely on building the actual performance aspect of it up. The looks part, it does look cool, but I'll finish that off as and when the time comes. That's going to be the last thing to do. I know what I'm doing with the outside. I'm not going to give it away just yet. But spec list, I mean, it's pretty big. It is pretty big. Even in a Golf GTI, it would be a hell of a spec list. So going through it roughly off the top of my head, I've got the TFSI engine. It's a BWA, S3 injectors, KO4 conversion from an S3. We've got an APR S3 upgraded alloy front mount intercooler. Which has really helped with the gains. You know, that would really help deliver the power. Exhaust wise, we've got what I believe to be a track slag manifold going into a custom R-Tech exhaust, 3-inch exhaust, stainless steel all the way through. We've got 3 little resonators on there, so it's not too loud. It's the first Caddy they've done an exhaust for. A lot of people don't realise that they do actually do custom exhaust. It's quite a new thing, so I had the pleasure of having the first one done. Engine, again, going back to that, we've had runner flap deletes, walnut blast, all the injectors have been tested, 360 brake, 395 foot-pound of torque, DSG. The DSG in it currently isn't mapped. It was originally. We're just waiting for the replacement. There's no point mapping it until that comes. So again, once that gets fitted, that'll be mapped. So nice little changes there. Brakes wise, we've got the S3 front brakes, so 345mm, vented discs, DS 2500 pads. The rear, they're actually Sirocco R brakes, but they're exactly the same as S3 and the R32 brakes, so they're going on as we speak. Suspension wise, I've got the Super Pro lower arms with extra caster, I believe, and anti-lift kit, 40% lighter than standard lower arms. I've got S3 alloy hubs. I've got Satch's front coilovers off an S3. Really, really good coilovers. Quite expensive to buy new, about 1,200 quid. The rear, again, it's getting the gas adjustables fitted as we speak. Going back to brakes, I do have a full set of Porsche brakes to go on it. I'm just waiting for delivery. I'm going to send them off to get refurbed. I'm not in a rush to fit them. The S3 brakes are going to be more than enough. These are just pretty much same points, if I'm completely honest. You know, they're pretty cool, aren't they? Porsche brakes. So I've got the front and rear. The fronts will go up to 350mm. The rear discs will stay at the 310mm that the S3 uses. Inside, I've got heated GTI leather seats, Mark 5 GTI. I've got Terrain dash, Terrain leather door cards that are to be fitted. It's just got the standard Terrain cloth door cards at the moment. It's got the standard Terrain cloth center console with armrest. Again, I've got a leather ratchet one that I'm going to be fitting. I've got a couple of gauges to put in it. I've got I think it's an auto gauge Monster Taco. These things are a throwback to my time in the street racing scene in New Zealand. They're massive, they're cool, they're not necessary, but you know, every decent car had one back in the day, back when I was really into the scene. So it's a bit of a throwback for me. I've also got a stack digital boost gauge. It's a pretty top end one. It does a few things. It lets you know if the boost is going over the parameters it should be. A few warning lights on it, a few adjustments on it. I think you can even set the boost through it. That's got to be fitted. I've just got to find somebody competent enough to fit it, basically. Stereo wise, not really got much going on there. There's a Chinese head unit for it that came out of my other Caddy. I do have a battery drain at the moment, so I have taken that out for the time being until we can track it down. I've got a homemade carpeted firewall behind the driver and passenger seat. I've got a little sub built into that, so again that'll be hooked up when the stereo goes in, and I'm just going to get some decent component speakers for the doors and the dash. That should be more than enough, you know, in an enclosed space with the firewall bulkhead sitting there. You know, it did sound really good in the other Caddy, so I might upgrade the head unit at some point. Not really sure. The thing owes me a lot of money. As with all projects, you know, I started out with a budget in mind and I've quite easily tripled it. And I can see it going up even more. You know, the plans for this year, later on in the year, once I've just, first of all, it's just to get it running right. As with all conversions, it's very rare you get it running bang on the first go. They do take their time, there's lots of gremlins to sort out. We've got rid of most of them, to be fair, so I just want to get it back off my brother, get this gearbox, go pick that up, get that fitted, get it mapped, and just enjoy it for a good few months until I start tearing it apart again. I've not really got to enjoy it. Going back to what it has as well, it's also got Goodyear Eagle F1 tyres all around, brand new. When I first picked it up, it was an SDI when I've had it, for a few years. It was an SDI, so it only had 70 odd horsepower. So I had budget tyres on the 18s, and they did the job. But when I picked it up from mapping, it was stamped like this, and it's just too much power. So I've gone for a decent set of tread all round. The little driving that I have had in it since we've replaced the box, it seems to be going all right. Seems to be gripping well, so that's good. But yeah, next year's plans, we're looking at a full engine build, really. I want it reliable, I want to forge it out. The BWAs, apparently Nicky reckons from Artec that they're the ones to build, they're the ones to forge, so I've kind of lucked out there. Full forge build, and I want a slip diff. I was contemplating going down the Quattro route. It is a lot of work, but it's probably worth it for the grip. However, I am partial to front wheel drive. Call me crazy. I love my front wheel drive cars. I've grown up around Jet Motors. A lot of them are front wheel drive. I know a good LSD is worth its money. Speed up to let him in. There's somebody not letting me out. A good LSD, a front wheel drive will grip so well. You can put the power down so much sooner in the corners. So that's next year's plans. Again, the outside can wait. May give it a wrap. May not. The outside, all I've really done on there is I've got terrain headlights. I will be replacing them for some that have been opened up and blackened out. I've got a terrain bumper on the front, back's just got a standard bumper on it. I do have some terrain mirrors to go on once I can get them converted over. I'd like them on. I'm not that much of a keen fan on the Caddy Life mirrors, quite like the terrain ones. Get some terrain wings for it to eliminate the indicators. And that will probably be it for next year. Year after, that's when the outside's really going to be attacked, but I imagine I'll be quite happy with it until then. Just want to get out and drive it, if I'm honest. So, today's video is just tell you a bit about the Caddy. You've not really seen it yet. Just another trial video. I'm new to all of this. See how it goes. See what kind of editing I can do with it. It's all pretty much one take, so I don't think I'll need to mess around that much. And basically see how the sound goes. If you go back to the original video, there was quite a rattle coming through from the mounts for the camera, and I didn't have an external mic, so hopefully we'll fix that now, all being well. This is a very noisy little car, so it's going to be a great test for it. My videos will get better. It's just a time thing. I've just got to get used to it. I'm doing videos for my actual company. I run a junk removal company, so this is how I make my money. It's called Junk Monkeys. Big plug for Junk Monkeys. If you find us on Facebook, it's a bit of a social media. What's the word I'm looking for? We've smashed social media basically. Facebook, it's me and my missus that do it on the company. Facebook, we've got over 29,500 followers, all local to where we are. Our reputation is second to none. Go and check out the page. It's a good page. I don't sell on it. I don't sort of like do menus of this, that, this is what we offer, this is what we, it's just who we are, what we get up to. And it's worked. It's worked really well. We've actually got the highest number of followers in the entire waste industry in the UK. That's, you know, every single business that's to do with recycling, waste, all the big boys, we beat them by tens of thousands. You know, we've really mastered that. It's a great little company. I love my job. It's always different people every day, different stuff. You know, some of the jobs can be a bit rank, if I'm honest. You know, but you grin and bear it. Get to find some cool things. You know, pretty much furnish my house through it. All good, decent stuff. It's honestly amazing what people throw away. But I've started to do videos for Junk Monkeys. So we've got a little channel. We've only got one little video up at the moment. But again, this is all new. Do you know what? You've got to start from somewhere, haven't you? And I'm a firm believer of just jumping in there, getting started. It doesn't need to be polished. It doesn't need to be professional. You just need to have a go. So this is pretty much what I'm doing. Hope you stick around for more videos. The plan is, I know I keep filming from a Renault. It's just my hands are tied at the moment. It's the only coolish car that I've got. But the plan is to do features on other vehicles, other Volkswagens. You know, really just, I think there's a bit of a gap in the market for the Volkswagen scene. There's a lot of people doing car stuff now. I just want to concentrate primarily on Volkswagens. I've got a lot of friends in the Caddy world, so you know, you'll be seeing a few Caddy videos. You'll be seeing other Volkswagens. You know, I've got a good friend Dougie who has two very, very, very special classic Beetles. One of them is pretty much, you know, 10 out of 10 show worthy. He spent a lot of money on it, especially on the engine. It's equivalent to about 300 brake per tonne. It's a great motor. He's up in Aberdeen, so we're looking at hopefully meeting up sometime this year, if all going well and the track's open. He wants to take it down the drag strip, centre pod. I'd like to take the Caddy down there, so we're going to have a little race, hopefully on the pod, and I'll do a little video and feature on that. Again, I've got a good few friends of the TFSI conversion in their Caddy, so there'll be plenty of features. I think TFSI Caddy conversion videos are missing, so I want to really focus on those. Dougie also has a very famous drag Beetle, classic Beetle. I believe it's from the States, and it was extremely famous in the 70s. It's called the Iguana. It's his childhood dream, and he actually owns it now, which is amazing. That's currently getting rebuilt, so depending on how his finances go over the next 12 months, depends on how quick that one gets built. But again, that will be featured. And just pretty much anybody who's got a cool Volkswagen, you know, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't have to be a Caddy, it could be an old one, a new one, it doesn't matter. Let's just get the love for bugs out there, Volkswagens in particular, any in particular, and see what we can do. You know, watch this thing grow. I'm not in this for money. I make my money doing junk removal. I just want to do it as a bit of a hobby, a bit of a challenge. I like to challenge myself and see where it goes, really. So anyway, thanks for watching, more so listening to me ramble. I could talk for England. Stay tuned for the next one. Not too sure when it's going to be, but well, Monday. Tell a lie, it'll be Monday, won't it, when I go and have a look at the Caddy. Yeah, show you around the Caddy. We'll take it from there. Have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.